that insurer is not on your side. Usually 12 months, 12,000 miles, then they get into, or either one of those things.
Yeah,
If you're over 12 months or you're over 12,000, but if you're under both of those, generally they do not put aftermarket parts on. Folks, that's changing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Airing of Grievances. My name is Eric Reamer. That's Robert Grieve, and as always, it's a privilege to have you join us for our day. Thank you so much. If you're here during the premiere, that is the first airing on Saturday morning at 9:30 in the Mountain Standard Time, you can be chatting with us live. We always appreciate hanging out with you during that time. That's how Rob chats. I actually chat with my thumbs or sitting next to him. In any case, we're so grateful that you are here. If you haven't done it yet, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. And we're so grateful when that happens, because that tells YouTube that this is worthy of sharing, and sharing is caring. And in this case, the story today that we've got for you, there's a lot of caring going on, at least over on this side. And we're going to see what's going on with the insurer's level of care for their insured. Before we get to that, though, Rob, by the way, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you.
Yeah.
My dear friends, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you all as regulars and
Absolutely. Now, Rob,
commenters.
Rob, you remember in November, you were on the cover of this magazine.
Yes.
And we all knew that it was happening because the photographer was here, and
I didn't know it was going to be on the cover.
Took photos all over the place. But I want to know, when did you sit for this one? I didn't. I'm not familiar with that one.
That's not me. That's just the way I feel most days. Good stuff, brother.
Couldn't help it.
Good stuff.
Had to.
Aren't you funny?
Yeah. All right, Rob. Let's talk about a car that literally just got to us yesterday.
You know, before we get to that, I just want to say thank you and to my son Greg for that amazing job. I'm so proud.
Yeah, Greg,
and you did a great job with him, and that was a great video. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words for Greg. He's an up and coming.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that video, here's a link to it right here. You wait till you're done with this one, and then you can go back and take a look at it. It's also in the playlist. We have a playlist of 158 now. Episodes of The Airing of Grievances.
Ding, ding.
If you want to binge, forget Netflix. Come on over to our YouTube channel. All right, brand new car.
Brand new car.
Came through the doors yesterday.
2024.
Right? And I just set it up for us because when I saw the images and then saw the end result, I was reminded again how important it is to have somebody on your side, an advocate who will say, no, don't let this happen to you.
Yeah.
And that's what our story is today.
Yeah. Probably got a couple different themes that are going to run through it, but we're gonna take a look at a 2024 Subaru that got towed in yesterday, hit in the rear.
Yeah, hitting the rear is an understatement.
But yeah, why don't we just go ahead and throw this picture up?
Yeah, well, there it is. Yeah. Wow.
And that seems like some substantial damage.
Well, it wasn't going 20 miles an hour. I can guarantee you that much.
No, but it might have been going 20 miles an hour once it got hit.
Right.
Probably hit it like a rocket.
Yeah.
So the insurance company put together a preliminary estimate on this. $5,400.
$5,400 for that damage right there.
Yeah, but there may be stuff that they missed.
What? Okay. Of the two people sitting here, one is trained to know what to do in situations such as the image that we just showed you, and the other is me. But as I'm looking at this, Rob,
Yeah.
well, first one I know that any estimator from the insurance company or adjuster from the insurance company is obligated by law to write a fair and accurate report based upon
What they can see.
what they can see. I can see that a brand new 2024 Subaru is going to cost more than $5,500 to fix that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a little bit more than that. Matter of fact, I'm pretty certain that this is going to go to the boneyard.
Really?
Yeah, this is incredibly damaged.
Wow.
Incredibly damaged. So we bring this to you. They're right off the bat not acting in good faith to you.
I would agree with that assessment.
And it gets even better. It gets even better. Keeping in mind that this is a brand new 2024 and it is smashed to smithereens.
Right.
They wrote two aftermarket Kappa taillights. So non-Subaru, made in China or
Wherever.
something. But at least they're aftermarket Kappa. Not that we would ever use them, and nor should you, the consumer. You should never allow that to get put on your car.
CAPA is the certification process for, or association for aftermarket parts, but as many parts as get certified, another number of parts get decertified. We've made several different videos about that. You can search CAPA for our storylines on those.
Yeah, and again, we're not trying to beat a dead horse here, but there's kind of new information that I'm going to be bringing up.
All right.
They also put an aftermarket impact bar. So, but not a Kappa certified, just an impact bar, which means it's gone through no testing or verification.
For those of us who are not familiar with the jargon, what is an impact bar?
Well, we're going to take another look here because you can see it in this picture, but the bumper's covering it a lot. Let's see if we get another angle at it.
All right.
And maybe you can draw a square around it.
Yeah.
So this impact bar could likely be what saved the passengers' lives.
Yeah.
And you can see how distorted it's just crushed.
It's mangled.
And that attaches to the frame rails, which are also crushed. And so Subaru makes an amazing automobile.
Sure.
And there's plenty of commercials out there of it getting pulled into maybe a body shop or a junkyard or something, and it's just like this. And the driver says to the guy on the ground, they lived.
Yeah.
Subaru makes a great product.
Absolutely.
And these people are okay that were in the car.
Thank God.
But it's because of the way the car was designed and the parts that they used in the manufacturing of it.
Right.
And the fact that it can take that energy of something hitting you square in the rear and make it go all over the place to take that energy off the passengers.
Right. If you start changing the materials or the fit, or and we may find in this original estimate, if you start leaving out procedures, any of those things, right?
Yeah.
That changes the whole game.
Yeah. You've added an ingredient or changed an ingredient.
Yeah.
Somebody said put sugar in it, and you said, you know what, brown sugar's fine. It's not going to taste the same, and it's not going to work the same.
Yeah.
So, not to mention, here's the thing. It's a 2024.
Brand new.
And they're putting non-original equipment manufacturer safety parts on this thing.
Right.
The insurance company is saying that.
Yes.
That insurer's not on your side. Usually 12 months, 12,000 miles, then they get into or either one of those things.
Yeah,
If you're over 12 months or you're over 12,000, but if you're under both of those, generally they do not put aftermarket parts on. Folks, that's changing. That's changing in a big way.
Yeah.
And here's an example of it. 2024 brand new.
Wow.
And they're putting aftermarket parts on it. And we're talking about safety components. We're not talking about a molding.
Right.
We're talking about safety components. And that's a big deal for you, the consumer. Please call your agent and see if they have an OEM parts rider. It costs about $60, $70 a year to add it onto the policy. And if you have a loss, they have to replace it with all factory parts.
Right.
So there are some companies that do not offer that. I would say do not go with them.
Well, there you have it.
Because if they're not even going to allow you to pay more to get that,
Right.
you can imagine what it's going to be when it comes to the loss side. It's going to be even worse. So there's that. And what are some of the other reasons these aftermarket parts are so important? And
The aftermarket parts?
no, the factory parts. And it's an important subject is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Here's a picture of a Lexus grill.
Yep.
And the insurance company in this case decided to put an aftermarket grill on it. But if you look, it's got a camera. Aftermarket parts are not made by the manufacturer of the vehicle. They're made by somebody else in another country as a copycat of that part, which is usually poor,
Right.
and sold to save insurers money.
Right.
And it never saves you money. It never saves you. You don't get a discount on your deductible or whatever you have to pay because of aftermarket parts.
That's correct.
But it is written into your policy, almost every one of them, unless you have a premium policy, that they're allowed to put these parts on your car, unless you have the rider.
Yep.
Some companies, like the one I have personally, it says right in the thing that, in the policy that they're going to put OEM parts on my car if I have a loss.
Gotcha.
This is an important subject. This car, if you put this factory camera back in a grill that was made by somebody else, do you think it's going to be lined up properly? Is it going to be where it's supposed to be? And that is looking at information and sending it back to the computers. Distance and all sorts of different things.
Sure.
It's part of your 360. It covers a lot of different functions. And you want that to be inside of a factory part, put on a factory part.
Right.
You don't want anything in between that is not made by the OEM. And here's another case in point. This again is a Lexus grill. I took the emblem off, the grill emblem.
Okay.
Well, behind these emblems, they put
Sensors.
another sensor
Yeah.
that looks through that emblem. So that emblem is made out of a very specific plastic with very specific clarity, very specific thickness,
Yep.
and that is a distance radar.
Okay.
And again, they wrote an aftermarket bumper on this thing, not even CAPA certified. An aftermarket bumper on this thing that this grill sits in the aftermarket bumper.
Wow.
Again, aftermarket parts are not known for their fit and finish.
Sure.
They're known to be cheap. And it's probably not going to operate as designed. And will you be able to get a calibration on it and so on and so forth, which you have to do all these things today. And they're hiding them. I mean, you wouldn't know that thing is behind there unless,
I've never.
I took a snapshot of it.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
And they're hidden all over the place. If we go back to the Subaru, right there, right behind the bumper, is a blind spot monitor.
Sure.
So that's what puts the little arrows in or notifications in your mirrors that, hey, bing, 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 something's in your blind spot.
Sure.
Or if you're in a parking lot backing up, it'll let you know somebody's coming down the aisle. Stop backing up. These are all important things. And if they're not put exactly where they need to be and then calibrated properly, they're not going to work properly, and they're not going to do what it is, and they're going to send bad information to the computer.
Yep.
Which makes decisions. You know, could be lane keep, could be anything. Every manufacturer's got a little different spin on it.
Right.
But so that's what I have for today. We're getting barraged with newer vehicles, like that bumper with the grill that has the sensor behind it.
Yeah.
That's a 2022 with 4,000 miles on it. Aftermarket parts, not even CAPA certified.
Wow.
Not that means a hill of beans to me, but it's at least a level step up.
Right.
And no, do not let these people put them on your car. It is becoming an epidemic with the insurers. As a matter of fact, I had an adjuster that we do very, very well with. He understands how we fix cars. He does his very, very best to cover the whole entire bill. But if your policy says aftermarket parts and it's eligible for aftermarket parts, that's what's going to write.
Yeah, his hands are tied.
He told me, get ready, because management is pushing down on us big time. If there's availability of an aftermarket part, certified or not, that's what's going on, or that's what they're going to allow for. And if you don't want those, you're going to be paying a little bit more if you go to some place that won't put those on your car, and you should not allow those to be put on your car. Read your estimates.
Absolutely.
It's clear when it's an aftermarket part. You'll see all the factory part numbers. You'll see an aftermarket part number that looks completely different, and it'll say aftermarket or CAPA aftermarket.
Yeah.
Those are all important things. And if you have a question, please don't hesitate to give us a buzz.
Absolutely. Here's our phone number for that purpose. And, you talk about these things are being pushed down to
Hard.
go out. Take a look at the video that we created just a couple of weeks ago called Balance Billing. And
there's the beginning of it.
That's it. And this is it in action.
Yeah. And so, meanwhile, your rates are going up. What they're providing you for what you're paying is going down.
Yep.
And you may land up with a bill at the end, even though you have insurance.
Right.
Please call your agent and see if they have an OEM rider for your policy. They're very inexpensive, and they make a huge difference should you ever have a loss.
That's good advice. Rob, thanks for bringing this to our attention. Thanks for taking care of this guest. I know you're going to take good care of them.
Oh, yeah,
the other.
Yeah, we got them.
And happy Saturday, brother.
Happy Saturday to you.
Thank you.
Happy Saturday to you. And for all you folks that we saw at CIC that said thanks for the videos that we do, thank you. We appreciate that very, very much, and we're grateful. God bless. Have an amazing week. See you next week.